Hey guys, Kiko here for another Q&A. Leave your questions here down below in the comments area. Subscribe to the channel. And here we go for the first one from Beto Azamar from Sweden. I would like to see your pedal board and how you control it, or if someone else is controlling the board. And I have a question. So that's the second question. How do you deal with back problems? Oh, back problems. I know the guitar and bass damage musicians' back in a long term. I guess so. So the first question, actually, I have it here in front of me. This is my pedal board, the Quad Cortex from Neuro DSP. Beautiful gear. If you don't have it, you should have it. I have around 15 patches there. If you have the Quad Cortex, you can go to the app, and I have all my live patches there for you for free to download and use it as well. What do we do? I have two, I have a spare one. We have the Digital Performer, actually now is a Pro Tools, just via MIDI, controlling the changes, the patch changes. The technology is simple, right? It's just MIDI, it's like an old technology. But the thing is like how to precisely locate the moment to change the patches, for the solo, for the cleans, more compressor or things like that. So that's why we have several patches, because you have the rhythm with more gate, with less gate. We have a Q patch, 2 or 3 different cleans. We have a solo with more delays, a dry solo. Yeah, so rhythm with chorus for Hangar 18, rhythm with flanger for Conqueror Die. I did a video here on my channel showing the system. The thing that people ask as well, as you have a machine, right, programmed machine, changing the patches, it means that you cannot improvise during the shows, right? And also you have to have a click track, because if you lose the tempo, you might have a problem, because the patches will be, out of place. And of course, all of our techs, they know, where the solos are and things like that. So if something happens, they can stop the Pro Tools and they can, change the patches by hand. But that, it happens like once, in a tour, maybe in one song. So it's not a big deal. It works perfectly. It's a lot of questions about that too. So you don't have that feeling, the live feeling you might lose because you're playing with a click track, because sometimes live you want to play faster, right? You're excited, you just want to play a bit faster, but how much faster? So basically we have some songs that we're not sure about the speed, so we have 1 or 2 or 3 versions of the song, maybe the original speed, maybe like 4 or 5 BPMs faster, maybe another 10 BPMs faster. So we can try and choose the best one, the best version for live. Some people ask, what about if you want to stop playing and leave the crowd to sing along, things like that, live moments like that, which is so important. That's the difference of listening a song at home and going live, so you can see the band improvising, the band letting the crowd sing along. So we do things like this as well. But normally, if you think all the bands, all the live concerts you've been, the songs that the crowd will sing along, the big hit, it's the chorus, so the band knows. So knowing that, you can prepare the patch changes, considering that you're gonna stop and let the crowd sing. A good example of that is Tout le Monde, that we have that moment that we let the crowd sing, and then when we go to French-speaking countries, we have another version that we give more space. In other shows, in other countries, we would do like 2 times 2 choruses, and in Canada and in France, we would do 3 choruses. That's not a problem. It's just more work. It's more pre-production. But then you're good. You can choose if you want to play. If you feel excited, you want to play faster. You can change if you want to open the songs for people, the crowd to sing along, things like that. So, yeah, Quad Cortex, straight to the in-ear monitor and PA, going to the power unit to feed the cabinets. And then you have to play with the click track, but it's all good. And then the band is tighter if you have that, right? All right, so let's go for the next question. Oh, that was pretty technical. Oh no, the other question was about the back pain, right? My body is already kind of ready to play guitar, so this shoulder is a bit higher than this one, and then I'm already kind of in this position, years and years, of practicing and playing. But I don't have back pains. I had at some point kind of not so nice back pains, but it was related to some stress. It was when I moved to the US. I have like a little daughter. Everything was kind of a bit chaotic in my life, a big change. When I record acoustic guitar, studio moments that you have to place the acoustic guitar in front of the mic like perfectly, and then you stay there for a few hours recording over and over and over, and then you cannot move, because if you move the sound will change, because it's picking up from an acoustic instrument. The nylon string, a classical guitar, because then the body, you have to arch your back more in a weird position. So then I feel some back pains, and I know that. I play every, 20 minutes, half hour or less. Then I stop, I stretch. I know I will have back pains in the end of the session. So I try to minimize the pain, giving breaks in between, which is very important as well when you're practicing at home, to have some breaks. Otherwise, you have pains all over your arm and wrists and back. So I have a course on my Guitar Academy where I teach you how to practice, how to have a great practicing routine. There I use the pomodoro technique, which is the 5 minutes break, so 25 minutes practice, 5 minutes break. Very good to avoid back pains, but also, to keep focus, so you can practice for a long time without losing your focus on the actual things that you wanna practice, you wanna learn. Yeah, so check it out. The Kiko Loureiro Guitar Academy. Another one here from Mad Max. How do you decide what songs to play on tour? Oh wait, Dave did a roulette wheel video about that. Yes, that's true. And sometimes the set list is a thing, takes some time to decide. Sometimes it's like that. I wouldn't mind seeing more interaction with Dave. Maybe that would get you in trouble. Not at all. So Dave is more into YouTube now, so I guess if you guys just write down below here, just asking for more Dave presence, I can show him, and I can make it happen. He's always doing some other stuff backstage, and we have sometimes different free time. I take my free time and I do the backstage tours and things like that. So using my free time, the guys are using their free time doing all the stuff, maybe relaxing. Another one here is not a question, it's just a comment, and I decided to talk about this a bit. So this one from Faded Carnage 666. Kiko can literally play every instrument. This is not true at all. I love his style and tone, thank you so much. Looking good for Megadeth, I can't wait for September 2nd. Yes, that's the date of the album release date, right? So talking about playing different instruments, I really think is a great thing to try. If you're starting now, definitely you have to focus on one instrument so you can understand the techniques and develop your musicality. But if you play an instrument for a few years already, if you play guitar, why not trying like buying a bass or keyboard. Nowadays so much easier to buy a cheaper bass that sounds okay, or like just have like a keyboard at home, or just get rid of that old furniture and buy a real piano, right? If you practice another instrument, you kind of rediscover ways of doing music, your musicality in its pure form, because you're not connected with shapes or techniques. Is more about what you hear, what you feel. Because if you go from the guitar to the piano, in the beginning you don't have almost no technique, right? And then it's only about the sounds, only about the music. It's like rediscovering ways to make music in a different environment. The same goes when you try to play drums. The same goes when you try to play bass. But bass kind of is the same, the same notes, frets and strings. So that's a easy thing to go from guitar to acoustic guitar, to nylon, to bass, to ukulele. So that's a good start. But when you go try to play piano or flute, now it's different. Like flute is like an interesting thing because now you don't see it. It's completely. I like to play flute sometimes just to to play melodies is so different. So you develop your musicality in a different ways, and you don't need to feel like you need to play great or to be a professional. When you go back to the guitar, you just understand music way better. That's and then to compose, to create, and at some point you're gonna be good enough to write songs. Good amount of questions here, so thanks a lot. Subscribe to the channel, leave here down below more questions, check the Guitar Academy, and see you in the next video.